Hello and welcome to Talk You to Sleep. In today's video, we're going to talk about the topic that I think that most of the friends, like 90% of my friend has been talking with me all the time about this one, and it's about my country. So if you guys know that I'm from Thailand, if you don't know, well, I'm from Thailand. Anyway, so whenever I say that I'm from Thailand, everyone is going to say, wow, I really love your country. Everything is so cheap. The food is really great, and there's a lot of places to go. So that's what people say to me when we first meet, or whenever I try to, make friends with foreigners or some friends that we just do some language exchange. And every time when I hear that, I will feel like, really? Like, I asked them back, like, do they really mean that? Or because just want to say that because they really mean it, or just, trying to make, make friends. Sometimes you have to say something that they want to hear about that. So, yeah. So I asked them back, and most of them say, yeah, that's really... I really mean it, and I just love the food, people are so nice, and then, the food is really good, and things are so cheap, especially for night markets. I really love the weather because it's not hot. It's not cold because it's very hot. How is that not hot, right? So, really, really hot, actually. Hot is the weather is hot, not the people. The people could be hot temper, not hot the weather. Alright, so let's get back. So in today's video, actually, it's just kind of a bit like a podcast, but I wanted to make it just talk you to sleep, talking about this because this could take more than 20 minutes. I'm not sure, but we will just go, topic by topic. So the first topic that I want to talk is about the price. So people think Thailand is very cheap. Everything in Thailand is quite cheap compared to their country. And I'm gonna say yes and no. Yes, in case if you go to the night market or some places like street food or market, a very local market, and some place around like that, or some place that there are not many travelers or not many foreigners, those kind of food would be really, really cheap because they're sold to Thai people. And basically, if you know the Thai salary, the standard Thai salary, it's just only $500 per month. And that is very little compared to other countries, right? Around Southeast Asia or maybe around Asia. So if you compare that, compare the amount of money that they have, that's why, it's reasonable. Why the price in Thailand is very cheap, because that is standard, money that people could get. Even for undergraduate students. Yeah, they're probably gonna get $500, but for some higher education, they're probably gonna get $700 until 5,000. So as you can see, they're varied around the age and each job and stuff like that. So it's just really hard. But the lowest price, people could just make $10 a day in Thailand. That's why the meals just cost around $1 to $2 per meal, per dish. It also depends on the restaurant. And if you go to some fancy restaurants or a really famous restaurant, it's probably gonna cost more, and that is reasonable, right? So yeah, that's why I'm gonna say to you Thai food is cheap. Yeah, because the money or the way to support their life is not that much compared to other countries. So if you live in a country that you get a lot of money, for example, some people could get $20 per hour for work. So yeah, that's how they could spend, just like one day by working just 1 hour, in Thailand. So that's how it's like. I think it's also applying to every country. Like if you live in a country that give you, the money in another country that, if you transfer or just exchange the money, like we use that the current exchange, like the benefit of currency exchange. Yeah, that's why you get the advantage of how to live in another country better than the one who don't get, like the one who doesn't get much money. Yeah, and for no, I would say like some place, for example, like traveling cities, for example, like Phuket, Krabi, or Pattaya, Bangkok, Chiang Mai. Those places are not that cheap. Like you can find a decent place with a decent, like amount of money instead of that very cheap, like I explained before. So this one is not that cheap, like, and it's not that expensive. You still can, like, it's still affordable for you guys, but it's not that so cheap. Like you just, could spend the money like water. Like okay, I just spit it out. Okay, I give it to you. This one. Okay, whatever you want. It's not gonna be like that because the city you live, there are many people who live, and the price is not that low compared to other provinces. So yeah, basically you can just get, from the taxi. People just say like every time, the taxi price here is very expensive. It's just almost the same as in Japan. If you have been to Japan, you will know, like compared to the transitions. What's that? Translation, not translation, transportation. Okay, compared to the transportation, taxi is the most like expensive one in Thailand. It's also the same, but it's not that expensive. Also, like I say, and this day we have Grab car, which can decrease the price. So it's another option for you guys if you guys want to like change from taxi to Grab car. And these days, Thai people are just more into Grab car because sometimes taxis they're they cheat the price. Like yeah, that's what really happened even for Thai people. So we just don't like them. And for example, like if you're a foreigner, for Thai people it's probably gonna take this only 300 baht. But if you come to Thailand and they know that you're a foreigner, they're probably gonna charge you maybe 2 to 3 times more than Thai people. So that's why I say to you, like, it's not a really good thing in here. Yeah, even Thai people, we got cheated by those taxi drivers. And for you guys, travelers, you don't know, just expect everything to be good. But yeah, it's not that good. So that's the first thing that we talk about, the price. And the second thing I want to talk is about the food. The food here in Thailand, since we live in, Southeast Asia, so most of the thing that we eat is going to be something that is more likely to be for, the southern people. Like we love garlic, we love some, sweet taste, and we love some spicy, hot and spicy food. This is what most of people, really love to eat. But some of them, for example, like northern people, cannot eat spicy food. People always assume that Thai people really love like spicy food. Like we can handle spicy food really well. No, this is not true. Like, for example, like me, I'm from the northern Thailand. I cannot eat spicy food. Like whenever I try to eat spicy food, I always get diarrhea, and it's just like a stomach ache. So not all people can eat spicy food. Yeah, and the food here, I think like everyone like knows about pad thai and tom yum goong. I don't know what's the name in English, but I think we can use this word because you guys know like what it means, right? So pad thai and tom yum goong is are not our main dish like we really eat. It maybe, represents like the food in Thailand, especially tom yum goong, because it has all of the, ingredients that are famous for doing some Thai tom yum. Tom yum is some kind of like, a soup, like Thai soup, like Thai soups. What's how to explain a Thai soup with some, ingredients like lemon and what? Grass? Was that lemongrass? Chilies, ginger, stuff like that. I don't know what are they called when they're together, but those kind of thing that represents, the hot and spiciness of Thailand. That's why it represents, as a famous food in Thailand. But people these days don't really eat it like daily. It's not like daily food that people eat. Mostly people just eat, pad kapao. Pad kapao is just like, fry rice with, stir fry pork with basil, or maybe it's just fry rice and some, red curry or green curry. That's what we normally eat, each day. Not tom yum goong. Like, that's really, different, and we occasionally eat them. Like, for me, it's gonna be like 2 or 3 times a year, like not so often. And pad thai is a food that I think that it's from China. It's not really a Thai food. It comes to like it came to Thailand, or from some Chinese who immigrated to Thailand. Yeah, so I think that we shouldn't call it a Thai food, but it has the word Thai and the name of the foods. That's why I think like people just assume that it's Thai food, but it's actually from China. So yeah, both of them not really sure if they're from Thailand. So yeah, basically that's what people just misunderstood about Thailand. Okay, and the third thing, people just think like, living in Thailand is really convenient. I would say that living in Thailand is really convenient if you are rich. Like, if you're a rich person, everywhere you go, you would get, some, we call that easy pass. Easy pass means like if you have money, you can just go everywhere. This is so true in Thailand. Nobody knows about it, but if you have money, you can turn wrong or turn like some incorrect things into the right thing. Yeah, I hope that if I say that, I won't get arrested by the police. But this is the truth. And living in this country, the law doesn't really important, at least like if you have money. If you watched some news, like the old news before, you realize if you're, go against someone who has a lot of money, yeah, you will just lose them because they have more money. And everything in this country run by money. So if you have more money, you win. That's the situation. So if someone wants to live here, make sure that you have a lot of money. If you have money, everything's going to be super easy for you to live. You can do everything. So yeah, that's why it is. So most of the people don't like their country, especially my generation. We just think like our country doesn't have rules. There's no fairness. Yeah, in the country between the rich and the poor. Yeah, other countries, you can use the law, right, to just like debate until like whenever you go to like the lawyer, and they have the lawyer, just like help the one trying to find the truth. But here, just like I told you, money always wins. So yeah, don't want to talk about it that much. I'm afraid some Thai people will listen to this and we get arrested. Please help me. Alright, so yeah, that's really the thing that could happen if you're just think like Thailand is a good country to live. good country to I think it's a good country to travel. Like, if you have, a long holiday, you just can just come to this country, you just travel with your family, spend your time on the beach or the sea, and just, like traveling. I think traveling here it's good, but living here it's not good. The quality of life is not good unless you have a lot of money that you don't need to care or ask anything from the government, because the government cannot help you anything about your current life or your situation, and the police is more likely to be on the side on the one who has a lot of money. I'm not saying bad things about my country, but I'm like telling you guys the truth. The truth, like, not many people would say about this, because they would think like other people would just think negatively to their country. But for me, it's okay to talk about that, so that letting people know, what it is like. And if you're a foreigner to have been to Thailand like for a very long time, you agree with me, because you see that every single day in your daily life. You see that how it is, and yeah, it's just like exactly what I say. So I have a friend who's really love Thailand. It's just like, oh, I love Thai food, I love Thai movies, I love Thai drama. Like I always go to Thai restaurants in their country, in their country. So Thai restaurants in their country, it's different from Thai restaurants in this country, because here is Thailand. So the restaurants, treat you differently from the one in your country. In that country, maybe there are not many restaurants there that they have Thai food, and their price will be very expensive. I know that. But here in Thailand, since we live in Thailand, so that's why the food is not that expensive. And the taste the taste of the food is gonna be just like Thai, because we have all ingredients. Like, while the other countries, they don't have much ingredients, so the taste is not as like the original one. So this also applies to every country. If you go to Korea and you just ask like, I wanted to have some Korean food in Thailand, obviously that's gonna be different from the food that you have had in Korea. So yeah, right? No need to just argue or talk about this, because it's just the fact. So yeah, that's what I just want to see. And these days, if you come to Thailand, you will notice that there are a lot of Chinese come to this country, because one of my friend who is a Chinese say like they think like Thai people are so kind. Yeah, talking about this, I don't want to delete our representations in your eyes. Like, Thai people are so nice and so kind. They say like every time when they land to the airport, the receptionists, or what do we call it, the people in the airport, that they just kind of greet you, like welcome you to the country. It's their duty, it's their work to do that. They have to do it, because they have commissions that they have, like, they will get more commissions if they work properly, and they get a lot of compliments. So this one also applies to every country. I don't see any wrong in this, but people just say like, wow, they're so impressed by how they welcome them so warmly. It's just really nice to them. So I've heard that thousands of times, like when people talk to me like, I really love your country, like they're so nice, people are so kind. Isn't that, should be like something that it's already have, like it should be just like that. Like, what's wrong with that? Like, they're being so kind to welcome you. It's their duty, it's their work to do, right? So yeah, I still don't get it sometimes, like why they say like that. I'm not sure like the topic we talked today will bring you to sleep or will just wake you up, because I'm really just don't know. Just sometimes my mood just goes up and it's just like this. So yeah, that's the thing. So basically, Thai people are really kind. Yeah, I have to say that this is the truth, that Thai people are so kind. Like in general, like talking with some friends or my friends or some strangers are so kind. But they're both good and bad people around you. Yeah, some people, they're just being nice to you because they want something from you. And you have to be careful in Thailand, you know. If someone are nice to you, I mean, like, you can trust them but not fully trust. They could just, you know, fake you and get something from you. There are a lot of robbers, there are a lot of thieves, just like the other countries. Maybe they will be more dangerous than Mexico. I've heard someone say, like, Mexico is a very dangerous country. But Thailand is also the same. Like, there are robbers in, like, every corner. There could be, you know, some crimes that could happen every day. You know, taxi might just, you know, shit at you for the price. And every single thing that I could think of that could happen in Thailand. So we're a undeveloped country. So everything, make sure that you can take care of yourself better than, you know, trying to wait for the help, you know, of the government or someone else. And if you really need my advice, like if you want to come to Thailand, I would say, like, if you ask help, you know, asking help on the internet will get you more attention than if you go to the police station. Because if I have to say, like, if something, you know, gone viral on the internet, they will get a lot of attention. And when there are a lot of attentions around you, people will get responsible for the things that you have. For example, like, there was a news, I'm not sure, like, about a guy who, you know, got cheated by the taxi and something, and they posted on Twitter, and people just helped them retweet it, that Twitter, and then it got, you know, a lot of interest from other people, and then finally he got help. While another person might just, you know, go to the police station and they didn't do anything on the internet. The policeman will just, you know, take some notes on that and tell him, like, okay, wait, just like that. And I'm not sure, like, if that police is a good person, they're probably gonna help you, but to following, like, the process might take longer than the one who got attentions. Yeah, this is not, I'm not trying to discredit my country, but this is what I really think about my country. And as a Thai person, you might think differently from me. Maybe you have good experiences on that, but I have been living here for almost 25 years. So this is what I experienced for the rest of my life, and that's what I want to talk about it today. Yeah. So this probably be Talk You to Sleep, the episode that I am a bit angry but yeah, a bit emotional on that, because I just feel like it's not that good as you guys think, but that's how I feel. All right, so yeah, if you feel offensive about that, if this makes you feel offensive, yeah, sorry for that. You just can close this and wait for another one that is about medical or about medicine. But I would just love to talk about this before I go to bed. Alright, so it's really the time to go to bed right now. So good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Okay, bye.